So, the final is set. We're going to have Purdue versus UConn, a battle of the number ones, a battle of the bigs with Klingon and then Edie. It felt inevitable, like a collision course. Well, anyways, it doesn't matter. Two really good games, honestly. I think the first game with the Wolfpack and Purdue, Purdue led from wire to wire. They started out hot, 4-0. DJ Burns struggled for that whole game. It felt like he got into foul trouble early. Just the second half, Purdue just weighed down on it. And O'Connell got hurt, which I wouldn't say that was a huge reason as to why, kind of like how it was for Houston when their guy got hurt against Duke. But I just think with how DJ Horn was kind of the only productive player for the Wolfpack, I think that had a huge effect. And like, not the lack of productivity from Burns, but just like what worked for all the other games didn't work tonight, and it wasn't working in their favor because Purdue just shut it down. They couldn't stop Edie because Burns got in foul trouble early. Middleton got into foul trouble after a while. They did keep it, like they would bring it within 5 or 6, but then Purdue would get to the line, or whether it was Lawyer or Smith, he'd sink a 3. They'd start to pull away a little bit. But what I think started the struggles in the second half was there was 5 minutes there where NC State went on a drought. And then that drought was ended by Burns, but then they went on another drought, and Purdue went on a 14-1 run and took that lead from, 10 range to 20. And at one point, there was a 20-point lead for the Boilermakers, and not enough time, and I was like, yeah, okay, this one's over. Also, I think Edie's block on Marcel was kind of like, okay, this is the start to Purdue starting to clamp down, and sure enough, they did. Edie had a double-double. Lawyer and Smith hit some clutch threes there, with under 5 minutes to go, and just they ran out of time, and they move on to the national championship where they play UConn. And how UConn's, like, the score tonight doesn't indicate how close it was, because, oh my gosh, Alabama was running with them, and it's like, okay, we have something cooking here, because in the second half alone, like, Bama went on a run, UConn went on a run, Bama went on a run, just there towards the end. Everybody involved, like, there was the stat where it showed all the starters had double-digit points, and then they just started to pull away there at the very end. Alabama started to miss crucial shots there at the very end, and UConn started to pull away at just the right moment. And it was two phenomenal, great games. You can't complain about that. And now we have UConn versus Purdue. I would say, just based on which team played better today, Purdue's going to win the national championship on Monday. But we'll just have to see, because this will be Purdue's biggest opponent thus far, and it will be UConn's biggest opponent thus far. So, like, it has all the makings, and the commenters were talking about it. It has the makings of being an instant classic. Now, if it turns into an absolute dud, how disappointing would that be? Like, if it's an absolute blowout, like how Michigan how Michigan got blown out by Villanova a few years ago. But, like, if we're talking like this is a North Carolina versus Villanova kind of matchup, or last year not last year, but a couple years ago with North Carolina and Kansas. Yeah, dude, we got a classic on the horizon. So, two number ones, that hasn't happened in a while that I can remember off the top of my head, because last year was crazy because nobody's bracket was correct. And then the year before, that was number 1 versus number 8. And then when Gonzaga and Baylor played, Baylor ran them out of the building in the first half. So, we'll just have to see. I'm leaning towards UConn, but we'll check back later. Catch you in the next one. Peace.